Hello, hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to Polaris and the Federal Bureau of Control.
I hope the grease monkeys and maintenance can keep the lights on. Blackout would be
I believe we just returned to the Central Executive Sector here from the power plant that we just cleared the pipes and brought the generators back online or something. The converters. So we have power now, and we are now in search of Marshall in the research sector. Let's see if we can run right that way and find her. Research parapsychology. Well, I can't wait. Elevator's working again now that we have power to more than just the maintenance sector. I have been very, very excited to play this again. I've only gotten to play it twice now during our 2 sessions, but that was enough to get me hooked. I have just loved the aesthetic and everything about this game. If I can only get better at the combat, oh, we'll be in business. I might check if I am safe here. Hopefully I will be in the elevator. For one moment, I'm just going to go grab a glass of water. I apparently need it. I'll be right back with you. So sorry. I am lubricated now. I'm sure you are curious. All right, into the research sector. I adjust my headset once more. Into the research sector. Oh, wow, lovely. Those redwoods? Fantastic. Oh, I don't want to miss this.
Internal communications. I'm looking at you, Mr. Tomasi. So, this is where the magic happens. Anyway, I've been here for 24 years now. I've always been here. And through those years, we've made astonishing discoveries, authored studies of grave importance, and in all this work, there is one thing we know, and that's how little we truly know. Rest assured, we're committed to keep pushing the known laws and borders of reality, and to make the Bureau proud. So, welcome. Assuming you have the necessary clearance, and do follow the safety protocols. Read the manual. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
Can I have a manual? I haven't read the manual.
Sector, huh?
What bad things?
Home of the Bureau's mad scientists.
Okay. None of my business, really. Ritual division. That's interesting. Something I noticed during the last session is that these cameras are always following you, specifically. And for some reason, that makes me want to take them out. Stop following me, specifically. But that's just my paranoia at play. Okay, Dr. Darling's office, dimensional research, and parapsychology. Well, I'm very interested in those other two items, but let's continue towards parapsychology. Yes? Oh, hey. That hurt me. Get out of here. Oh, there goes my cover. Who else? Who is it? Where'd you go? Please crouch. There you go. You figured it out at the last second. Also, please shoot that guy. No. No more. No one else is allowed. Oh, that's just not good for me. Cannot melee those guys. That was just unwise. There's that getting better at the combat I was talking about. I put myself right in the middle of them, and then was surprised when they were all around me. Let's try that again. I may have ability points I'm forgetting to spend, too. I should check that. If we jump back up at a control point, I'll see if that helps. Yeah, I guess I don't even have a control point, unless I go back up the elevator. We'll find one soon. That'll be fine. Okay. Hello again. Try to keep my high ground advantage this time, instead of whatever it was I was trying to do last time. Have a trash can. On me. Actually, it's on you now. Keep the high ground advantage. Don't get in the middle of them. Especially not when the legendary guy appears. Whoever that is. Darn it. Caught that rocket right in the face. That's gonna make this difficult. Oh, come on. I was crouched. That seems strange. Unless he shot me, you know, through the railing, which there is a gap. But still. So sorry. One more time. From the top. Or else we take an elevator ride. Either way, it'll be fun. Since you have no... well, I currently have no ability to regenerate health, I keep getting myself into those situations where I'm too far from the collectible health nubs and get shot on the way. I need to just keep my health inside my personage. Okay. There's gotta be a better cover than that. Let's try this wall. Go down. No thanks, sniper. There must be a more appropriate weapon form for that I do not possess yet. Alright, come on. Where did you go? I'm assuming there's still another one, because the final wave hasn't spawned in yet. But I can't tell. Wrong button there. So it appears to be another one of these. We saw one of these gates by maintenance. There he is. Really? You've just been hiding there. Alright. This is the guy that is just shredding my health. town boy. So sorry about that. Let's see if there is a control point before we start breaking through doors. And any more mods. There we go. Alright. There's gotta be one. There's a shelter there. Let's check behind this just to make sure that's not the idea. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 shots each. Parapsychology. Bad. Well, yeah,
She's in
sure.
trouble. I need to reach her.
Okay, and about that control point. Yes? No? There's a couch hidden down there. Just in case you need a rest on the way to parapsychology, I guess. Okay. So there's another immediate battle in there with no control point. Likely a control point afterwards, but goodness, I would like to take the immediate battle I just won and cash in. I'm assuming there must be one down on the lower level. Somewhere. Threshold utility. Thresholds have always been sources of great inspiration and great challenge. When a new threshold manifests in the oldest house by Redacted, we never know what new discoveries it will provide to the Bureau, but we must always seize these opportunities. This report will examine the process of distinguishing recent threshold effects based on their utilitarian possibilities. The quarry brought Black Rock, one of our most invaluable discoveries. But if the mold has any scientific value, it has been difficult to find due to the lengths we must go to in fighting back the particularly prolific plant. These are very distinct cases and worth comparing, as their study offers vastly different dangers and rewards. So what is Black Rock? And I guess this is the mold, this sort of fungus, coral-looking stuff we've been seeing, is the mold infestation we saw a expense report about earlier. Which I do believe hurts me to walk on or breathe in. But it seems to not be there. So maybe it's only like when it gets purple. It seems like usually we see it in a purple light with purple haze around it. And maybe that's the only time it's dangerous. I'm not sure. It really doesn't so much look like mold to me as it looks like one of the, like a flora and fauna from a different dimension growing into ours like grass. Lab 1 of 3, seemingly. But no control point. No control point anywhere. What a shame. Alright. Alright, let's see what's in Lab 1, I guess. Night. The world is mine, with nobody else out here, it's time. Run wild and royally cavalier. To burn, ignite, I do it for so much less. When all is made clear, there is nothing else. And here we stand, the sweet arresting duality, and I come to. It's resin all over me. This looks like a poem or a song. A song, judging by the speakers. Poets of the Fall. I know that name. My Dark Disquiet. Oh, you know, I have a... There's this setting. Let me see if it shows you. Oh, okay. No, take your time. There we go. I have this setting on that says mute copyrighted music. And that is likely why we're not hearing anything right now. It's probably a copyrighted song. I'm sorely tempted to just, you know, I'll deal with it later. I'll take it out because I want to hear the song. But that's unfortunate. I'm gonna undo it. I'll deal with the consequences. There we go. Now we can hear it. Speakers also have that symbol on them. Seemingly the symbol of Polaris? So I'm guessing that just turns the test song on and on. I believe Poets of the Fall is a band made up of members of the Remedy development team or close friends. And they actually had a very, very direct hand in Alan Wake, one of Remedy's earlier titles, and provided the music for a band called the Old Gods of Asgard in Alan Wake. So they are very important to me, very special. A song questionnaire. Auditory experience 84C, Poets of the Fall, My Dark Disquiet. Answer these questions within 2 minutes of listening. Did the song elicit any particular memories? Yes. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? Yeah, absolutely. Did a clear image of a weapon appear at your mind during the song? That's a weird way to phrase it. An image of a weapon appear at your mind. Like, threatening it? Provide a detailed description of your current surroundings as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices when no one is present? If so, what did they say? Do you hear them now? Please choose one from each of the following pairs. 1 or 2, A or B, day or night, apple or orange, burn out or fade away. Is that like a very old... Oh, what's his name? I should know this. Kurt Cobain. A very old Kurt Cobain reference, somehow? So that's interesting. A Poets of the Fall reference is a good sign. A good omen, for sure. But it's not a control point. No. I've stayed in here looking for a save point so long, they've re-attacked me. Re-attacked from scratch. Black Rock analysis. Hi, Carla. does it strike you as odd that Darling insists on having us appear in those bizarre videos of his? I mean, we just stand there. He doesn't even let us have lines or anything. Don't get me wrong, it beats a day in the lab, plus it's always great to work with you. Oh yeah, I finished the comparative analysis of the 2 Black Rock samples you sent. The Prism, or whatever you call it. I filed them in the usual place under C for Carla. A handy mnemonic device, right? Anyway, let me know if there's anything you want to discuss about the data. I'll gladly explain. Maybe we could chat about it over some drinks, or dinner, even? I can't remember the last time I had a good steak. Maybe we could go together after work sometime. I'm free tomorrow. All the very best. Hubert. Aw, Hubert's out here looking for steak in all the right places. You know, that's probably during one of those earlier sessions I was wondering why the radio wasn't doing anything. It's because I had mute copyrighted music on. That's why. So now the radios are, working. That's one mystery solved. So they can dodge 1, but they can't dodge 2. It's good to know. Ah, missed. And again. And I really need to upgrade that launch. Perhaps at a control point. That is an interesting quote. Interesting and horrifying. Hey, buddy. Okay, that's it. The musical cue informs me that's it. This is a very interesting quote. For who among us has touched the foundations of this world and deemed them solid? It's a good question. I always think I will get some great treasure by going through bathrooms and opening every stall to make sure there isn't a collectible note, and yet so often I just find myself looking like a pervert. Looking like some sort of weirdo. And there's so many bathrooms. So I often look like a pervert weirdo. But oh well. That's what it takes sometimes. Okay, so I guess I should just stop messing around. There is no control point. I'll have to accept that. And move on. So the question is, do I want to move into parapsychology, assuming after the battle there will be a checkpoint, though it may be a rather difficult battle? Or should I go back up the elevator? Let's be brave and see if we can manage this. If not, it'll just spit me out back at the front anyway. desecrated. Like a naughty doggy. No, don't do that to dogs. That's rude. They're doing their best. Okay, control point? Anyone? No? Couple of mannequins playing dodgeball in there. And what are these ones? Oh, jeez. Can I get you out of there? I guess just uncorrupting it will help. That's horrifying. There's people stuck between televisions and hiss. And the hiss of televisions. AWE 18. Transcript of a call to the California State Emergency Services. 911, what is your emergency? Hello? Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me? I can hear you, ma'am. Where are you? I'm inside the wires. I'm lost. Ma'am, have you been drinking tonight? I feel like I'm stretching through the wire towards you. Don't hang up. I might go if you hang up. Go where, ma'am? Go. Gone. Away. Okay, can you describe your surroundings? What was that? I guess we'll never know. Ma'am? Hello, ma'am. The dispatcher attempted to call the number back, but it was no longer in service. Lady got sucked into the phone. That's too bad. Astral Exhibition. And a control point. Thank
The astral
darling.
Similar to an iceberg, what you see is not what you always get. Regardless, this place is vitally important to the Bureau. Most information on the astral plane is classified, but we can talk in broad strokes, keeping in mind that these are staggeringly complex systems, and simplification does them no justice. Now, the white non-space, the ever-present inverted black pyramid, the board, all linked, intrinsically tied to the oldest house, tied to the director, the process of choosing a director, tied to all objects of power in terms of who controls them. Yes.
Those are so hilariously awkward and wonderful. I love mixed media presentations in games like this. So let us see if we do in fact have ability points. We have one. That's not quite what I was hoping. Sure. Okay, so I really need to get launch up instead of whatever I soaked into shield there. That isn't really going to help me much, but I do need to just remember how to use shield and get used to that. So, launch. We need one more point for it. Let's see if we have any new forms. Yeah, I'll upgrade the grip. Okay. And let's check here. Ammo refund chance. I suppose I will throw that in there for now, just in case. And all the rest of them are at level 1. I'll leave it. Okay, so we need some ability points. What is this? It looks like a city in the astral plane. Some sort of walled structure. Is that where the board lives? Do they need to live anywhere specifically? I lost the title of whatever I just picked up there. Not sure where this one got picked up, but listen, Trench is on the warpath about this Tennyson report thing. He wants to know who wrote it, and he wants to know yesterday, and whoever did is going to get crucified. I don't know if it was one of you guys, and I don't want to know. I'm not super keen on leading a witch hunt, so tell everyone in the sector to keep their heads down. Best not to be on anyone's radar right now, you know? I tell you, not even counting all the weird shit we deal with, this place can be a downright hostile work environment sometimes. Okay, caught up on correspondence. It must be a research. Bureau snipers specialize in eliminating threats from a distance. Hiss snipers are no less lethal. The corruption has not changed their tactics. They prefer to maintain a good distance from the target, waiting in elevated positions for a clear shot. They're also equipped with a bayonet for close quarters combat, and they are well aware of how to use it. Astral Exhibition. I think this is what we just picked up here. The Astral Exhibition was originally built for the astronauts to use as a training location, a place to grow accustomed to the sights and sounds of the astral plane before diving into the real thing. We could have done a better job with it, but someone was being stingy with the budget. However, once we discovered we decided to repurpose the space. Similar to how zoos hope familiar surroundings will affect the well-being of their animals, we hope to observe the behavior in an environment similar to its home dimension. So far it just breaks everything we put in with it, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Did they take something from the astral plane, like a living being, and bring it back here? Like a zoo animal? Because I think that's going to end poorly for all of us. And I really hope it wasn't this thing that you brought back. Okay. I'm too scared to watch this television presentation, but let's do it.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then, one could argue that that's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those experiencing it. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions. Apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage, we're always in the vicinity of the pyramid. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls. We have glimpsed movement, native species, always in the distance, and yet contact was made. We don't have footage of this, a technical malfunction, but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fugue, had hitchhiked a ride in his head. It ruptured out, killing the subject in question. It's a
well, they brought it back, all right.
Thoughts, minds, lethal to those the entity feeds on. Proper containment protocols are to be observed when dealing with it.
I love that. Questions? Answers? Contact Dr. Darling. Yeah, I'll take both. So it seems as though, if I understood that correctly, they're saying the astral plane is not fake. It's a real location. We enter it with our minds. The inverted black pyramid, which any time a human goes into the astral plane, they are accompanied by the inverted black pyramid. We can't get away from it. It's always in the distance somewhere. And so that seems to be what the board controls. Like the board is monitoring us both here and in the astral plane. But secondary to that, there are brain fugues, brain clouds that are natural inhabitants of the astral plane, and one of them followed an astronaut back.
I can't believe they
And there it is. That's just horrible. Let it go back to the astral plane. What are you doing, the board? Okay. So what do we have to do with it? Looks like that's gonna get us in there. Amidst all the madness. Let me just make sure there's nothing else I need to pick up. I don't think there was. And no other areas. Good. Okay. Let's go see a brain fugue. We have a power box and a gate. Looks like they go there. And we have a button. That's just gonna keep chasing me. Alright. The things are set, which must mean I can, like, close or operate this big door now. So let's lure it in. And then I'm assuming this connects. Out here. Aha!
What's the Bureau doing with that thing?
And then that door opened. Okay. This is not the astral plane. This is, and I apologize, cover your ears, some horse shit. Let that thing go back to its house. What are you doing? We don't know if it needs, like, a signal from its home dimension to live. We don't know.
Someone answer, damn it! We need backup down here.
Okay, Marshall.
Are you still there? Shit. We're so close. We need to hurry.
Okay, continuing towards parapsychology, I suppose. And combat. What is that? Hiss cluster. Hiss clusters heal other enemies, destroy them, to make the fight easier. Well, sure. I'd love to. What? How did that happen? Did it go right through the tiny gap? That's hilarious. I thought it was going to hit that wall, and so I got out of there specifically. And I would love to have the high ground, but that rocket launcher is devastating. How about over here, where the rocket launcher is slightly less devastating? Okay, I'm worried about these guys. And now that guy. Yep. That's a thing. Not a good place. Never mind. Sorry. That was my bad. Thought I could maybe surprise them, but they were ready for me. Okay, let me try to get some health nubs. Little nuggets of health. And we'll try from this side. There's the rocket launcher guy. Never mind. I'll do it. Okay, I should get out of here. At least behind something solid. Stay down. All right. Lovely. I'm starting to catch on. You can see Polaris there, pointing out certain things. And there's often times where Jessie will start saying something like, "What, you want me to go there?" And I have no idea what she's talking about. It's always like one of these Polaris is pointing out something. And it can be hard to see sometimes. Always lovely to uncorrupt an area. Visually stunning. Okay. I knocked over a piece of brain. And apparently I can't pick it back up, so sorry. Sorry, brain. Astronauts information. Which has apparently given me a mission. Processes and best practices for the Astronaut program. This report serves as an introductory guide to the Astronaut program, including candidate requirements, training practices, and astral research procedures. Astronauts are chosen individuals who explore and document the astral plane by making physical contact with the X-ray Lightbox. See case file OOP-18 in the Hypnosis Lab, a section of the Parapsychology Division. Physical and psychological training is vital for the repeated transition between planes, known as dives. After each dive, astronauts must undergo a session in the cognitive recording chairs to record their experience in the plane. Gathered data has conclusively proven that within the astral plane vary wildly between astronauts. On rare occasions, these dives can result in losses, often occurring when teams encounter aggressive astral entities. So, the fact that it gave us a mission makes me think it wants us to go to the Hypnosis Lab and dive into the astral plane. That sounds fun. Groupthink. Utilization of paranatural elements, rethinking groupthink. This study extends the works of Irving Janis, Robert Barron, and others by proposing strong causal links between groupthink and the passive or active use of telepathy. To prove these connections, the parapsychology department carried out variations of Solomon Asch's original conformity experiments using a telepathic individual as the subject. Extensive qualitative and quantitative data resulting from these experiments was then used to identify telepathic interference within the group. Further empirical findings suggest measures can be taken to safeguard against telepathic influence on behaviors by engaging in... Rather boldly, this paper stands to revolutionize decades of groupthink theory and provide new directions for further experimentation on the mind, including manipulation of redacted and redacted. So, there is a cumulative power to telepathy, it seems. A groupthink buff. Still have one ability point. Not much I can do with that. So let's see. I guess we're still trying to get to parapsychology proper. For the other mission, I'm assuming it's up that elevator. Where is the hypnosis lab? Number 3, hypnosis lab. So it is a part of parapsychology. Okay. Ah, cool. This is where we came in. Now the wall is down. I'm just catching on. Hypnosis lab, extrasensory lab. So this is where the side quest is. Let's go ahead and take care of it while we're right here. Before we meet Marshall. Hopefully we're capable. Okay. Little bit creepy. I'll be right back. 1 second. Thank you for taking part in our time freeze flash mob experiment. You may now move.
I see it.
Okay.
Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
They sure are. And are they going to be upset when I try to get close? Alright, so it said you need to physically touch it to initiate a dive. If I recall correctly. I keep seeing these symbols scattered around. I wonder if they're important. I haven't seen enough of them yet to know. Okay, so I can go in here. Strong magnetic field, no pacemakers. Couple of MRI machines, perhaps? For making sure we're not giving the astronauts horrifying brain tumors, I suppose? Huh. That's cute. And maybe vitally important, I'm not sure. I'm gonna assume it's cute for now. What does that mean? Huh. Okay, I can input 4 different variations of each side. But I need to know what to set it to. So what were they printing off here? Oh, here's one. A thick line around all sides, fully black top. Let's try that. I can see it from right here, in fact. That's very helpful. I probably should have been listening. So, thick line on all the sides. There we have it. Unlocked. Which must be this door. Yes, it's now green. What do you have to say?
Name for the record. Paul Warren, Astral Mark, First Class. And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane can result in death, disability, personal injury, corporeal untangling, cognitive collapse, loss of ego, and partial to full dementia?
Yeah. I am.
And you acknowledge that your use of the astral conduit, aka the X-ray Lightbox, is purely voluntary?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Your suit is good? Okay, you're all set. Open the door for Mr. Warren, please.
Okay. I'm about to be untangled, apparently. Looking forward to it. Strange. Here we go. Use C's to complete the astral plane challenge. What is C's? Alright, so I can't hurt golden astral plane guys. Enemies at low health can be seized. Wow, okay. That is awesome. So I can create my own personal army now. I like it. I've gone mad with power. Okay, just a couple more. Yikes. Though I should try not to die from my own army. And I should also try not to kill my own army. So many concerns when you have your own army. Oh, come on, guys. Good job. Okay, I am now bound to the X-ray machine. So what are the implications? Let me just stop and think. what are the implications of the fact that the object that allows astronauts to dive in the astral plane, the core purpose of it is to take over your mind and seize control of you? But what does that mean? But now I can seize people at low health. I couldn't be happier.
Brains were fried when I took over the object.
I'm so sorry. Sorry about your brains. That's too bad. So this place is uncorrupted, but there's still a geometric interference issue, which is rather strange. Huh. I don't know how you would you'd get back there. Maybe we later have the ability to remove localized geometric disturbances. Who knows? Alright, we now should be able to continue up the ladder, but we did get some launch points. Let's go ahead and use them. And now we have C's unlocked. Lovely. Alright, definite launch. And ooh, grenades and rockets. Yes, that will probably save my life accidentally more times than I can count. Let's grab it. Alright, speak with Marshall.
Marshall, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who is this?
My name is Jessie Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden.
Whoa, her eyes just did something weird.
We need to talk.
Got that right.
She apparently gets very confused when she says her own name. Or there was a
More of you?
modeling glitch.
Really?
Ding! Alright. Collect all those goodies.
Trench said his team knows all the Bureau's secrets. Marshall, especially. Does she know what happened to Dylan?
There's a ghost tugging on my jacket. Let go, ghost.
Welcome to the park, ma'am. Marshall is right down the hall.
Okay, I'll go right down the hall to meet Marshall then. Hey, wait a minute. This was terrible. Oh, there's another. Okay, I see how hallways work now. I see. Oh. Long night, was it? That's too bad. Rubber duck supplement. Now we're getting somewhere. Rubber duck, altered item 52. Discovered in the home of Agent after his young daughter complained of being followed by her rubber duck. According to the agent, the matter was ignored, believed to be the result of a child's imagination, until he began to hear the quacking at night. After discovering the item hiding in his daughter's closet, he brought it to the Bureau for study. Update. It was discovered that Agent was bringing known paranatural materials into his home, illegally taking them outside the oldest house. How this may have affected the creation of an altered item is being investigated. Agent has been terminated. While we're here, X-ray Lightbox. No unique procedures needed. The object is a lightbox used to examine X-ray images. The image cannot be removed from the lightbox. The information on the image belongs to a patient named Redacted. The object allows para-utilitarians to forcefully seize an individual's butt parts. I think I can see just barely behind the Sharpie there. The seized individual becomes to the user. The effect lasts. Ho-ho! Once released, the seized as a result of psychic trauma. Once released, the seized dies as a result of psychic trauma? Does that mean everyone I ever use this on has no hope of being rescued? I guess that's just like everyone else I shoot in the face, so yeah, it's fine. Okay. The object has no current binder. Ahem, your documentation needs updating. The Bureau dispatched an emergency response team. The item, fatalities numbered in the... Ooh. So last time this got out, there were perhaps dozens, if not hundreds of deaths.
Marshall is waiting for you in the luck lab, just down the hall.
Okay, down the hall we go. Oh, thanks, Polaris. I appreciate that. I'm just now catching up to, has this gentleman pooed himself to death? That is the likeliest story for our bathroom floor sleeper. Sleeper? Poo death. We'll find out. Okay. Luck and probability. Why does everyone look so dour if this is a room devoted to luck? Oh, hey, little kitty. I probably shouldn't punch the kitty in the stomach so forcefully, but... Well, that's adorable. I love it. What is it for? Huh. Looks like a roulette wheel in there, and a whiteboard with interesting symbols on it. Huh. We have a golden fish. Okay. I have a 4-leaf clover. Seemingly 4 of them? 4 4-leaf clovers? That's gotta be good. Ah, more of these weird symbols.
There you are. I was starting to worry.
Oh, hey, Marshall. I'm just checking out the lucky kitty. A horseshoe, clearly. Yes, with an accompanying diagram. Horseshoe up, luck pools inside. Horseshoe down, bad. Luck cannot pool inside. So it's currently up. I'll leave it there. I'm assuming if I turned it down, the entire facility would explode. Oh, and another one of these. And it donks against the elephant? That's so weird. It seems like they're giving you all these variables. And then maybe they have you, like, spin the roulette wheel with all the variables in the correct good luck charm spot, basically. Seems to be the idea. But I don't have clearance level 5, so we'll never know. Alright, Marshall.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then.
Pleased to meet you.
And I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this.
You caught on very quickly. You're a sharp one, Marshall.
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. she could know about Dylan?
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss.
Is it clearance level 5? Because I'd love that.
Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
You're going to lock the door behind me, okay. So I had better, if I have any unfinished business, I'd better do it now. But I don't think I do. I mean, the gentleman's pooed himself to death. What more can be done? Let's move on. I'm just gonna hide in the shelter. Just gonna hide in here from whatever's happening. That's the stuff. Actually, the more I think about it, the more that sounds like a battle with two sides, and by doing this, I'm abandoning people to their deaths. She did mention something about rangers needing help here. Let's not be selfish.
We have to help them.
Okay. I should have tried to seize. To remember that's an option. Oh, he's healing. That's why. I was like, oh, I thought I got it. But he can heal himself out of seize range. Oh, come on. There we go. I keep reloading instead. All right. Not you, though? You can't be seized? Okay. Anytime now. Oh, sorry. Those are rangers. But not that one. Yikes. Were you guys just smooching? What was going on? What were you doing together? Were you stuck? It's none of my business, really. I'll keep to myself. Interesting. It's the first time a shelter has ever been blocked by corruption. More hostiles. Anytime. Anytime on that reload. So interesting to note, you can seize the last guy in a wave of guys, and then it seems like the fight's over, but it's actually not. And you have to wait until your seized guy expires of natural causes, until the next wave will finally spawn. There you go. And claim it. It really is really inconvenient and massive font for walking into an active battle. Oh, Okay. Parakinesiology Chief Lewis has come into the fight. And he cannot be hit by things? That seems weird. It's like he's blocking them. Health nugs. Yeah, I cannot lock onto him. That's so weird. Lock onto you. You're gonna have to take the brunt of the fire extinguishers for Chief Lewis here. I guess I can get his shield down with stuff, but then I can't actually damage his health with it. I should probably run away from that. Ah, come on. Let's try this again. Oh, personal mods full. Let me take a look at that. I'm assuming there'll be a way to, like, deconstruct? Yes, let's deconstruct some level 1s. There we go. I'm assuming there are some of these that you want to keep, no matter the cost, but that none of them will be rarity type 1, is my assumption. Let's do the same thing in here while we're at it. Clear up a little inventory space. All right. So I'm assuming now the shelter will be clear. Just in the outstanding business category. Outstanding business! Threshold Kids proposal. Explain yourself. Whoever made the Threshold Kids? With the recent arrival of the... There are certain glaring gaps in the Bureau's ability to educate and raise a young. There are no other children for, to play with? And, is expected to learn about a frightening new concepts. Indeed. It will require a slow, child-friendly introduction to paranatural topics. With this in mind, allow me to introduce the Threshold Kids. Not child-friendly, by the way. A television show in which a cast of cheerful puppets explain the dangers of living at the Bureau, but also show the fun side of the paranatural. Budget would be minimal. I took a few puppet-making courses at my local community center. I mean, who hasn't? We can have research staff build the sets, record the footage, even do the voices. It will be good for morale, and I guarantee, will respond positively to these videos. We can't expect a child to enjoy lectures and people in lab coats. But as television has proven for years, children love puppets. So, that makes me think that when they took my brother, Dylan, 17 years ago, or whenever it was, that's what this is about. With the recent arrival of the, whatever that is, There are no other children for Dylan to play with, and Dylan is expected to learn about frightening new concepts. We can't expect a child to enjoy lectures. That kind of makes sense. So that must have been the first time they ever had a potential director that was a child, I guess. I'm assuming that's the only reason they took Dylan. Is he probably showed directorial aptitude. Or para-utilitarian skill. I don't know. I don't know exactly what he has. I'm still trying to find him. Protective studies. Okay. Is that a duck? That is a duck. And more of these symbols. What does this mean? It looks like dimensions, you know? It's all just a cube inside a larger cube. And then it shows the various dimensions of all of the panels inside that cube. But like, is it a language? Is it a labeling system? Does it say duck? Is it just duck? Who knows? There is an open door into the ducky room. I suppose we'll have to figure out how to unlock that. Same symbols, seemingly. Let me check. Yeah, I think they're exactly the same. Interesting. And what does this say?
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner. No response. Next,
no response to the Bunsen burner.
Each with a different value on the pH scale from 0 to 14.
Oh man, those eyes say evil. Those eyes say malice and hatred towards all mankind.
No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words.
Go on. Go on, quack.
We'll need time to prepare further tests.
Well, that sounds just horrifying. I hope it doesn't get out and terrorize the place.
Okay. You must like these
there's
HRAs.
Polaris.
Sounds like Darling.
Leading me on.
And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
Awful lot of boxes. Okay, looks like another one of those code doors. Item in the clutter. So what would be the code for it? Maybe it's back in the lab. There's a code there, but I can't fully see it. Let's try this door. Was that a quack? Yeah. I just heard it quack twice. Or I'm becoming a quack twice. I'm not sure which. So once again, I think I'm missing some sort of jump ability that would help me out here. But this is a giant room full of crates. I don't see why we couldn't just do this the old-fashioned way. If you'll indulge me for a moment. There you go. Did I grab any of these closer ones, I wonder? Very hard to get those to fall where you want them to fall. Alright, if I can just place one, like, on top of that and this somehow, I might be good. Let me grab a few more here. Nope, nope, not that one. Don't move that one. This may be a fruitless endeavor, but I believe. I just need like one more box to end up on top of it. Let's try standing on this. Don't tip it over. Try to lift it up. Some way to balance it. May just be a matter of grabbing a few more. I'm sure you can come back here and do this very, very easily at any point later when you have some sort of unknown jump ability. I'm just being greedy. Ow. Keep hitting the wrong key. Okay. Try to get that one. Not okay, fine. And we'll take that one first. I don't mind. Doesn't make a difference to me. Like the nice pile. All right. One more. If only. I would love for one of them to end up on its side up there. So desperately close, but completely useless. wonder if we could also stack them, like, up on here on the opposing wall and dash across is another idea. I'm determined now to skirt it. I just can't get them to line up. Let's move this guy. It didn't have such an effect on the ones surrounding it. That's the right angle I need. Yep. Ah! So close. It's like you have no way of controlling which way you hold it for some reason. Sometimes it ends up in a really good position while you're holding it, and most of the time it's just upside down dangling. It's not working. Alright. Darn. I thought I had a fairly stable structure there. But no. It is really very close. And out of energy. So sorry for the incredible halt this has brought to proceedings. Ah, I finally knocked the lid off of one of them there. Thank you for indulging my wild idea. Which may still not work at the end of it. Alright. Now there has gotta be a way. If it wasn't for the quacking, I would definitely come back later. But it almost seems like a taunt. I just need one more level on top. There we go. So sorry about that. That took forever. And we may not even be able to get past the mold. Let's try it. Oh, good. That quacking's getting louder. I'm magic. I have learned the ancient art of levitation. Duck. goose. Just in case.
Disappear.
Hey!
Great.
Get back here. I didn't say you could disappear. I still hear him. Hey! I don't know which way he wants me to go. Sounded like that way. I'm gonna catch ya. It's only a matter of time now.
Finally, no more quacking.
Okay. Did I collect it? Direct contact with the item is not permitted. Safety gloves required when handling. The item is a yellow rubber duck bath toy from the 1950s. Single hole at the bottom allows air and water to flow in and out. The item makes a sound analogous to quacking. The item travels considerable distances with surprising speed. How it achieves this motion is unknown, as it only has one tiny little hole in the bottom to allow air and water to flow in and out. The item forms a of unknown purpose with anyone who makes direct physical contact with it and begins to follow them, quacking often. This has led to a researcher named something entering cardiac arrest, though due to the individual's health issues the matter may not be connected to the item's effect. Item on loan to the research sector. Okay, now we can pass by this godforsaken crate room. Thank you so much for bearing with me there. I'm glad we got our prize. Now we just have the puzzle of this to solve. Aha! She must have, Marshall must have given me this sheet of paper with the code on it, is my assumption. Ah. So I need to figure out how to get it in the correct position, but also in the correct sequence of moves so that it is positioned correctly. So I need to be like one off there. There we go. Okay.
You let
The
me
HRA lab.
Any idea how to make it work?
Polaris is pointing at this.
Hello again, Director. It appears we have a new problem. We need to get the
Hey,
HRA
Marshall.
machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, punch cards, symbols, terminals. I guess these are the terminals. 1, 2, 3, 5, and stairs. Aha. 4. There we go. So those are the terminals, these are the symbols, and these are the punch cards. So sorry, let me run to the restroom momentarily before we solve this puzzle. I'll be right back with you. Okay, my apologies. Nothing worse than trying to think. Alright, so terminal number 4, we have 1, 2, 3, and 5 down below. Is the placement of where I pick up the punch cards important? Like, does this punch card just go right in here? Configurations. Can we affect this? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and collect the punch cards so we know what we're dealing with. But I'll try to kind of keep where they are in mind in case it's important. It sure doesn't seem to be. They're just scattered about. So. Collect the whole set. Blackrock Prisms. Utilization of paranatural elements, Blackrock Prisms. They are unique formations of black rock, distinct in their shape and potency. While the density of black rock dampens paranatural forces, the unique structure of prisms retain frequencies in the range with perfect harmonization. This report analyzes the results of focusing A through a harmonized prism onto A. Methods for the imprinting of non-physical fields onto, imbuing them with the properties of the harmonized resonance. So it literally sounds like they're taking pieces of black rock here. They're then shining, I assume, a laser or a harmonic resonance frequency through a black rock prism and etching that black rock with the symbol we see on these Hedron, whatever they're called, Hedron protection vests. So it seems like those little discs with the symbol etched into them is an etched resonance, and we're trying to make more of those little discs here with the laser engraving device. It's a very, very cool backstory to how exactly these are made and protect them from paranatural forces. Alright, I'm sorry, Marshall. I'm solving a completely different puzzle than the one you're yelling at me about. I'm so sorry. So I'm guessing the white boards have something to do with it. There are 5 cards with 5 symbols, and each whiteboard has 5 on it. It almost seems like it's not so much a riddle puzzle as it's just, hey, these guys were in the middle of a test, and you just need to pick it up from there.
What do the symbols mean?
So I would say any time they've tried a sequence of 5, say this triple card, I'm going to call it triple card because of the middle section, it worked in the first slot, it didn't work in 2, it didn't work in 3, and it didn't work in 5, would be the way I read that. So I would say, yeah, they didn't try the triple card there. Let's see if they tried the triple card here. They did try the triple card, and it worked. So I would say almost certainly number 1 is the triple. Let's try putting that in. La ha ha. Alright. That being the case, they tried, I'm gonna say 2 and 3, but there's this arrow between them that says changing variables. So I guess that could mean it takes either, or it randomizes it every time. But 2 and 3 should be a variation of that. Let's put it in opposite the way it looks. So black square there, abstract square here. And then if that doesn't work, we can change the variable. But I think those two cards will be out of play now. So 1 I'm assuming is set. 5 has an arrow too, but it doesn't go both ways. It's almost saying the one that worked for 4 is actually the one that worked for 5. But let me check what this one says. This one just has that one in the 4 slot and is saying it worked. So I'm going to trust them that works in the 4 slot, and I'm going to trust that this works in the 5 slot because it's what's being ported over there. This is the symbol that's in the 4 slot, but there's an arrow saying move it to 5. So now we have to see if our changing variable is correct. Must not be. Let's swap it. Remove the abstract. Remove the center square. Add the abstract. There we go. Changing variables. Every time. I like that it's not really a puzzle, it's just to sort of pick up where the engineer left off, kind of thing. Oh, we're gonna need a new one of those.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need
And that would be?
Blackrock Prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab, down in the Blackrock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way. But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go. I need something from you first. What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it. I'm the only one who can help. Fine. I'll get the prisms first. Dylan will have to wait just a little longer. But
Sorry, Dylan.
Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks. Emily Pope has set up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism,
Aha.
I'll be there.
We have clearance level 4 now.
I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now.
Darling.
We are about to be
What kind of videos are you
exposed
making
to
here?
a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance.
So he did know it was coming.
That's what the Hedron resonance
obviously.
amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us, and keeping us from being wiped out.
Well, that's a night sky. Does that exist inside the building?
Back to Central Research.
Ah, I was looking at the wrong wall. I got all excited. Okay, this will lead back to Central Research. Fancy. I think there were... I was curious when we passed by there was 4 of these cubes, you know, just like this one, but that one and this one were yellow on this panel. And I was curious if that meant anything, and apparently there's a secret door behind there. Strangely enough. Okay, so we're back at the top of the research level, or not the top, but the entrance where we came in at the sector elevator. We can get back to maintenance now. We can also get back to Central Executive from here. Let's check it out.
Marshall knows something.
Long elevator ride.
Is he here? Is he alright? HRAs first. They'll help save everyone, including Dylan, once I find him. Can you keep him safe? Like you do with me?
I'm never sure if that's a yes. Like when it flashes in response. What is she saying in response? So now we're back here where we've got that shield ability in our training course, I believe. And close to the power plant. Dear old power plant. So we are looking for Black Rock processing. And we're being attacked. Cool. Oh, that was effective. Alright, so she did give me that clearance level 4. So I'm guessing she wants me to go that way. Don't want to be messing with shield guys, though. Yikes. All right. Sorry about that. Ahem. So this seems to be Blackrock processing here. But I'm assuming there's a problem. Wow. There's a problem. Okay. So, let's see what's through the turbine room where she gave us the clearance pass. Okay. Not sure what this one does, but let's try it. Doesn't activate the turbines, that's good enough for me. So assuming I need to yank one out of these two. Just set that gently there for later. There we go. I'm sure I'm missing all manner of secrets in there, but we'll be back. Oh, cool, another light switch. And this must be that platform we saw from down there. Yeah. Okay, what's over here? A shortcut back to the security checkpoint, looks like. Don't want that just yet. So I guess we're going back to the ocean view. Our dear motel and casino. Assuming this is locked every time. Yep. Okay.
Lights are on. They should be open. We're looking to get a room for the night. Hello? I don't think anyone's there, honey. Come on. We'll go to that motel we passed a while back.
That's so cool. So someone's outside in the actual physical location of the ocean view, wherever it is out in the world. Like, the Bureau does not know where it is, but those two guys do. And that's so cool. Alright, so I'm guessing it must be that you have to do the same, like a similar bell room puzzle every time in order to find the keys to get to wherever you're going. You have to prove to the ocean view that you have what it takes. So let's look in the first room and see if we have what it takes. Okay, nothing. Nothing in the first room. Second room. Oh. Maybe they need to match? I'm sure that picture would be fixed. The chair in. Not sure about that. Let's try the third room. Huh. Now it's both. It's 1 and 2 now, instead of 3. So let's check if these match. Ah, chair out, radio on the right. Otherwise, yes. Chair out, radio on the right. And the third door is open. Didn't even have to hit the bell. That is so cool. Alright. I'll see you next time, Ocean View. It is, such a cool way to get around that they make you go interdimensionally to a motel halfway across the world to navigate your interior bureau. And having come back, the bridge is complete. So let's jump down to the security checkpoint. And we should be able to go across here now. I'm assuming this is the Black Rock that they've been mining. I wonder why they have it set up with these huge trenches like this.
Okay, we need to find a way to Blackrock processing. That's where Marshall said we'd find a prism.
Atlas theory. Structural analysis of the Atlas. The Atlas is a physical expression created by the oldest house, its purpose and function unknown. Specific shape and dimensions of the Atlas seem to indicate a more explicit purpose than the oldest house's usual walls, floors, or shifts. The Atlas changes form, but resists observation when doing so. No visual observation has been made during its change. It only ever occurs between frames when monitored by surveillance cameras. A previous theory was that this change corresponds to house shifts and that the Atlas is a redacted of the redacted itself. However, the shape changes do not occur at the same time as the building shifts, which makes this theory doubtful. Structurally, the Atlas is made of the same redacted material as the rest of the oldest house. Further observation will hopefully aid in discovering its purpose. So there is a physical object that changes when you're not looking at it? Or something like that? Alright, classic bathroom search. Let's do it. It's becoming an important ritual in the ritual division. Well, that doesn't sound good. Perfect. I'm here. I'm here to save you. Are you saved? Are you saved yet? Ah, it's one of these guys. And one of these guys. I'll happily take him for my team, sure. That went surprisingly well for once. I'll be up in a minute, Simon. So is that the Atlas? Does it change physical shape when you're not looking at it? the Atlas. Do not touch or obstruct. Report any movement. It's created by the oldest house, the subject of ongoing research. So nobody knows what this is or what it's for. It has like pictures and stuff on it though. Pictures and wires and connections. The fact that it's called the Atlas makes me wonder if it's like an actual map of the interior structure of the house as it changes. That's what they were saying in their pamphlet. We just don't know. Huh. Oh, I thought for a second she had a really weird bald spot there, but it was just a trick of the illumination. It's like, oh, that's... Did they do this to you? Did the hiss take your hair? Alright. I'm up here now, Simon, but I'm still looking around. You'll have to wait.
During an AWE investigation, our agents discovered a light switch cord in a Butte bungalow closet. They pulled the cord and were instantly transported to the Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream like haze. Inside, they found a door marked with an inverted black pyramid. And just like that, it led back to the oldest house, some 2,000 miles from Montana. Now we're finding the cord in increasing numbers throughout the Bureau. Somehow the two places, they became in tune to each other. The actual physical location of the Ocean View is a mystery. Stepping beyond its walls has so far proven impossible. A place of power, like the oldest house.
Oh, darling. I would listen to you talk about paranatural phenomena all day. That is a very good point. There are two contexts to the word atlas. It could mean a map, a sort of topography situation, or it could mean that it is holding up something. It is the support structure for some unseen thing. So that's a very good point. We don't know what context of the word atlas is in use, necessarily. Alright, quick look in the shelter. Sorry, Simon. I'm still making you wait. Okay, now I'm all yours, buddy. Wait, I see collectibles. I'm not all yours yet.
Ranger Squad Charlie 7 returned from an expedition into the quarry threshold just after 0500 Zulu.
Yeah?
Can you please state your names and describe the purpose of your expedition?
Kevin Horowitz, Rupert Wells. Our mission was to map quarry grid coordinates G29. Secondary objective, as always, was to find a route from the threshold entrance and maintenance to the formation. Secondary objective was not a success. What a surprise.
And did you encounter any previously unrecorded event or entity while inside the threshold?
No, nothing. Do you think we should tell him about the mermaid?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the
Mermaid?
Horowitz here found this mermaid in the quarry, just sitting on some black rock. She was singing this beautiful song, and he was overcome with desire. She was so
That's not
I'd say
good.
She was more enchanting than alluring. Fine, enchanting.
Did you tell your CO about this?
I'm not doing so hot.
Because
You're
it
fine.
didn't happen.
We'll push through
Nothing
this. The hiss of the
happened.
ones doing the
As
pushing,
usual,
Rock.
the quarry is full of rocks. That's it. Can we go now?
Fuck you guys. Get out of here.
So there may or may not be a mermaid that may or may not be a figment of your imagination down in the quarry. Federal Bureau of Control. A note from Marshall. Have you noticed the recent tension between Trench and Darling? They've both been acting odd lately. Trench concerns me the most. His sudden hostility towards Darling's project is very unlike him. He was the one to approve all of this Hedron research in the first place, but after Darling unveiled those HRAs, he was livid. I personally don't see any reason not to equip Bureau staff with an additional protective device, especially not if it's as strong as Darling says. What do you make of this? Have you seen anything from either of them that strikes you as odd? Let's talk in person soon, before the next Bureau heads meeting. So Darling knew that the hiss was coming. He didn't know what it was, but he knew that a resonance, a hostile resonance, would be invading this reality soon. And Trench, the previous director, was angry that he was trying to stop that. That's not a good look for Trench, but we don't have much information. I'm finally yours, Simon. Take me now.
Hey,
for dialogue.
Whatever the fuck that was. But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
What do I tell him? The truth is harsh, but these people seem familiar with death.
The hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction. Another day at the FBC. But Darling's lab is just Blackrock processing. I got good news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a hiss monster has decided to move in, so that's great.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. The ones that survived, anyway. We are just treading water here, and the hiss keep coming. Salvador would know what to do, but apparently he took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They should have relied on me.
We're all gonna die.
They don't know how I've failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base in Executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with this monster. I'm getting kind of used to them.
Aye, aye, Faden. And be sure to put a bullet in that thing for me.
Oh, I'll try. This is for Simon! If there's time. Okay, so we're off on our own again. That's too bad. Probably nothing, but weird that there's a space up there at all.
Arish wasn't kidding about that monster.
Yeah. This looks, tense. Tense and deeply unpleasant for his jaw. Swan boat. Swan boat altered item 19KE. No unique procedures required. Item is made of fiberglass, painted to resemble a swan. Foot pedals allow the item to propel forward in water. The item emits a pulse of physical force at an estimated force of, possible connection to OOP-5. Measuring the exact force created by the item has been hindered by concerns from the Human Resources Department. The item was seized from an activity rental service called Located on Lake on Vancouver Island, Canada. after it ejected numerous riders over the course of a summer, bringing the boat to the attention of the media. The item was transported to the Bureau by helicopter. A containment specialist accompanied it, sent to recite formulas C9 through 32 recursively. What occurred in the helicopter is not known, but all agents were lost in the crash. The item was recovered and then transported by train. It arrived at the Bureau without further incident. This swan boat has killed before. I'm guessing these must be actual ingots of black rock here. Which does appear to be the exact same material in those trenches, those really weird canyons.
You showed me the HRA when I first got here, and the machine that makes them. Can you help me find a prism?
Okay.
Shit! They're shattered. What the fuck?
What was that? What did I just almost kind of see? Oh, jeez. I've got an empty barrel, and I will throw it. This is horrifying. Kind of see it. Sometimes. Come on now. Be kind.
And find Darling's lab.
A real quick draw situation. Okay, so he came from there. Not seen anything necessarily, collectible wise. The Black Rock Lab. Black Rock has allowed the Bureau to make great strides in containment procedures since it was first discovered. This report will examine how its very structure is comprised of density that nullifies all resonances within a range of somewhat to somewhat hertz. There we go. Bureau innovations that incorporate Black Rock will be analyzed, most notably the fire breaks. That must be what the canyon is. It's to prevent a quote-unquote fire. I'm guessing they mean a paranatural fire. Feats of engineering designed to contain any future outbreaks, attacks, or internal threats. The goal of this report is to encourage Bureau staff to explore further innovations using Black Rock, as work in that field has markedly slowed in recent years. So it's like a paranormal lead, I guess.
Thresholds in the maintenance sector. That's That's where Black Rock comes from.
You heard that too, right?
Dimensional matter.
Black Rock comes from a threshold quarry. So the prisms must be there too.
Think of it as paranatural lead.
Oh, I should have just let him say it. We were getting there.
Absolutely need to keep in check. That's what the Black Rock line fire breaks are about. The panopticon container cells.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I need the code for the quarry elevator.
Oh, Emily. The code.
Code for the quarry elevator.
665. Neighbor of the beast.
It's a very old Max Payne reference. Neighbor of the beast. Okay, 665 is the elevator code. Clearance level 5. We can get into that roulette wheel room now. That's what I'm excited about. Slots. Okay, let's check upstairs before we go through door number 5. Black Rock Quarry.
Everything here is crazy. Weird, but it feels right. Like how the world should be. I am in an infinite building leading to different dimensions, and I never want to leave.
Tell me about
Even
it.
with all the horror, I'm just the right kind of insane.
Okay, quarry that way. Let's see what's over here. Oh, it's your subscription anniversary, but it didn't give you all the bells and whistles. I'm so sorry. But thank you. That is fantastic. Happy 6 months. Okay, that seems to lead back out to a claim point. I'm not... It looked like we already had it, but maybe I should double check, just in case. Or not. Huh. I thought I just walked through there. Maybe I missed my chance. Or maybe it's a changing variable. That's weird. Oh well, okay, we're going to the Black Rock Quarry, regardless. Clearance level 5. This one is unclaimed, for sure. Looks like we're higher up above the power plant now. Yeah. Give me 1 second before we fight those guys. I'll be right back. So sorry. Let's check the abilities here. See if we have anything else under the launch category. Oh, launch basic enemies when their health is low. Yes, that's going to be a yes. As that will come in all kinds of handy. And let's go another damage while we're at it. And then let's use it on this guy's face. Beautiful. Oh, you snipers. Eat that. I enjoy being able to throw people's bodies around. That is fun for me. This power plant is weird because it's like the janitor kept saying you have to go stabilize the pensioner. And I don't know what they mean by that. He always kind of seems to speak in riddles regardless. Oh, that launch damage increase really helped me out. I was only doing like a little nick of damage before. I know that there was a previous... Here we go. There was a previous director that disappeared, and I thought he had something to do with the power plant. NSC something sarcophagus container. The NSC was designed by the order of Deputy Chief Trench shortly before he became director. Container provides a safe method of extraction of... whose excess energy? While acting as a humane way to house him. The coolant pumps keep the container and its occupant from overheating while the energy is siphoned. The energy is then conducted to the converters, rendered into through the use of turbine generators. The electricity produced powers the entire Bureau, making us self-sufficient and invisible from the New York City grid. After NSC-1's disappearance by some unknown manifestation of his power, the occupant was restrained and a second model was built. NSC-2 possesses built-in spatial anchors that are designed to prevent any translocative effect from its occupant. So there is, and oh my goodness, you can see him on the screen. There is a man in this chamber, Northmore, the Northmore sarcophagus container, who is powering the entire facility. Internal movement detected. Well, that's horrifying. So yeah, this isn't a coal stove. Apparently the previous director of the Bureau, Northmore, developed some sort of para-utilitarian power that could not be contained, and they turned him into a power plant. Wild. So I'm guessing there's probably a couple of things to grab on the levels I haven't been to yet. There's likely 4 or so of them. 4 or 5. But let's continue on to Black Rock Quarry for now. I'm sure we'll be back. Okay, we've got an elevator. We've got a shelter. elevator does not seem to be at this level. And I'm not seeing a button to call it, so maybe we're doing this the old-fashioned way. There's a button.
Elevator's broken.
Ah. Maybe we're doing it the old-fashioned way. I should shut up. Apparently, I'm not making any original comments. Make sure there's no collectibles here. All right. Uh-huh. I'm sure they're going to throw a file in some dark corner here eventually. Interesting. All right, almost to the bottom. And we seem to have reached the quarry. Is the elevator fixed? Now that I'm finally down here? Come here. I have plans for you. Okay. Seems to be something behind there. Yes, indeed. Create a slightly larger hole for myself, though. That ought to do it with one little... Beautiful burst. Alright. What's down here? Mold. Appears to be mold. I don't know if I can survive mold. Hidden location discovered. But yes, it is not looking good for my ability to survive down there. Ah, they got me. Those appear to be some sort of like mold creatures now that I have not seen before. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I am assuming at some point there are many areas covered in mold that have collectibles behind them. I'm assuming at some point we get a mold-proof boots upgrade, or a respirator, or whatever it is that's required. We will keep that in mind. There is a mold area in Black Rock Quarry. I think we did get a claim point somewhere along the way here, maybe at the base of the quarry elevator or just inside. But I'm not sure exactly where it's going to put us. Yes, base of the elevator, perfect. Okay. I'm sure this is exactly where they're going to spawn when they come back in. I want to get out of there. Oh good, just them. No third wave. Quarry equipment order. We need additional diamond blades ASAP. Continuous rim this time to get the clean cut research wants. This black rock shit is tough. We're going through blades like we're made of the damn things. The dimensions for these slabs of black walk they want are outrageous. For all the grief they're causing me, these fire breaks better fucking work a treat. Go ahead and double the last order. Ah. We have dimensional creatures. It's good to know. Ooh. I am floating. Wish I had a flashlight about now. If I remove this generator, will that light stop shining? I'm curious. Apparently not. Apparently it's fine. I can't even see what the clearance level on that is from here. It might be 6. Can't really tell. I don't think I could make it, regardless. So that's another thing to keep in mind. All sorts of secrets down at the quarry. But let's go this way. Oh. That looks like the right way.
Whoa. Not what I expected.
Sure. Why not? Just barely heard that missile coming out of the corner of my ear. And I hate those guys you can't launch when they don't have a shield. Trying to sneak up on me. And again. Yikes. Activate the explosives. All right. Guessing that's those. All right. Once again, we'll definitely want to come back to this area and look around a bit. Quarry incident. Are the ones with explosive personalities the guys you've seized? The ones that kind of pop after the battle is over? Yes. The guys I've seized have an expiration date and go poof after a time, if that's what you're seeing. During my weekly safety inspection to the quarry threshold, I discovered the entire crew in a state of euphoria. The whole team was ecstatic, aligned and staring in a uniform direction, the city in the distance. Despite my most vocal efforts to gain their attention, they remained euphoric for more than 6 minutes, until I had to resort to literally killing them with my fists. Afterwards, they were dazed, and could not provide any rationale for their behavior or any specific memories of engaging in it. My official recommendation for any crew working in a threshold area is to either shorten the length of their shifts or to carry out mandatory psychological evaluations on a weekly basis, preferably both. And maybe we should order another expedition to the city. What is the city? Is that something you can see from here? I just saw stars, but if I'm missing a city out there... I can't tell. Because of all these spotlights. So yeah, I'm not sure what they mean. But it makes me think of that model we saw back in the research sector of a astral plane city. It must be out here in this threshold somewhere. But I'm not necessarily seeing it. There's a lot of single pillars. Huh. I hope we get a better look at it eventually. That's so strange. Anyway, so sorry. My curiosity aside, let's blow some explosives. Yay! You've subscribed for 6 months. That was such a strange delay. I am very glad it finally popped, though. Hurrah! And we have a new prism.
And there it is. Right where you led me. HRAs, the prisms,
and natural inhabitants.
I need to get this prism to Marshall.
Several of them.
Too late. HRAs, then Dylan.
Alright. So I gotta get out of here without running into the creatures. I'm guessing perhaps up this very well-lit staircase, as it is almost all that I can see. No smoking reminder. All Bureau personnel are reminded kindly not smoke in the quarry. Even though the quarry area is technically an outdoor space, it's still part of the Bureau, and therefore the no smoking rule does apply. Not only is it considerate towards your fellow employees to refrain from inflicting the harm of secondhand smoke, it's also prudent to avoid any risk of gas fires, unforeseen threshold reactions, and possible creation of altered receptacles. Under no circumstances... I can't speak anymore. Under no circumstances should cigarette butts be left in the quarry. Thank you for your understanding. Have they come alive before? Have they whispered to you? Okay, I think this is back out. There are still creatures. I think we have to go this way. Past him. Into the elevator. Let's check if the elevator's working, but we can just fast travel from back there, so even if it is working, it will just cost us time. Let's just go to Central Executive. We'll check if the elevator's working when we fast travel back. Alright, we may be reaching the end of our session here. These 172 minutes later. Thank you for your time and your kind attention on our journey. This has been very fun, and it feels like we've made a lot of progress. I am absolutely adoring this game, and especially where I think it is going to lead. Eventually. There is a small detour we will have to make, as I have slowly learned that this is more directly connected to a previous favorite game of mine than I could have possibly imagined. We are effectively getting a secret sequel to an old game in this game. So I am very, very excited to continue the journey here, as well as take that detour with you, because it is an old and nostalgic favorite. It's not that old, but a nostalgic favorite. But first, let's see what Marshall has to say.
Pope wants us to compile all of Darling's data entries from the past month.
She wants us to crack
That's her right there. For some reason, thought she'd be in the boardroom.
Who does she think she...
Had to take a detour into the quarry, but I found plenty. Here.
We will start HRA production immediately. I promised I'd tell you about Dylan once you helped us.
Yeah.
This is it?
Tell me about my baby brother.
17 years I've waited.
Your brother is here. He was once known as Prime Candidate 6, codenamed P6. We brought him here after the ordinary event. He was groomed to be the future director. He had talents far beyond any other candidate in the program.
Of course he did. We found you together. We share a bond. Are you with him now?
So you kidnapped him?
We took him in. Your parents vanished along with every other adult in Ordinary. Eventually, his power changed him. There were casualties. He wasn't fit to be the director.
Did you know about this? Is this why you didn't bring me here sooner? Were you keeping me away?
Where is Dylan?
He's kept in the containment sector, in the Panopticon.
My brother. I thought we were the same. What if we are?
I'm going. Now.
I expected as much. I need to go check on something. Something I cannot let the Hiss find. It shouldn't take long, but you must watch the Bureau while I'm gone. And remember, Dylan is dangerous. Do not let him out, Director Faden.
How do I make her stop calling me that? I'm not here for them. Nothing simple here. These people took my brother, but they've accepted me without question. Are they my enemies or my friends? I need to see Dylan. I need to know. I wish you could tell me what you know, explain things. Just stay with me, okay? I could use a friend right now.
And there is where I will leave you. We are on the trail of our brother, headed to the containment sector and to the Panopticon within. I will see you next time. Thank you very, very much, and bye for now.